So today I want to talk about a Japanese micro brand that really caught my attention and quickly made its way onto my wrist more often than I expected. It's a brand called Kuoe, and I have two of their models here, the Royal Smith and the Old Smith. Both are elegant, vintage inspired, and incredibly wearable, especially if you're into watches with classic 35mm proportions. They're beautifully made, come in well under $1,000, and if you're like me, might just surprise you with how often you reach for them. Now, let me take you back to my initial gut reaction. Here's the unboxing footage so you can see what I saw the moment they arrived. I am very excited. We have a package with two watches from a brand that I swear I have seen 1,000 times advertised on my Instagram, always pops up on my stories. And the watches look insanely beautiful, but pretty darn affordable. So we have two for review here by the Japanese brand Kuoe, who were founded in 2020. And yeah, we're just going to get unboxing and see what I have. What a treat. Oh my God. This one should be the Royal Smith, slightly larger box than the other one. And this one is just $100 more. Look at this. A really nice watch case. Oh my God. Look at that. I love the ivory dial. Look at that. That is so beautiful. Okay, so I have unboxed the Old Smith and the Royal Smith. And I went for gold cases and hands, and this one has this waffle dial that is just gorgeous. And what I'm going to do is I am going to wear these, try them out, make sure they live up to expectations. But as an initial unboxing, the thing I love is the size. They're 35mm, which I imagine, depending on your wrist, depending on what you love. This is obviously, I think they're modeled on watches from like the 1930s. And yeah, they just were on the smaller side. And I think this is going to be very, very enjoyable. I have gone for really dark brown leather strap on this one, and then just like a normal brown leather strap on the Royal Smith. And my initial reactions are just absolutely beautiful. I think I'm going to be staring at the dials. I do love the numbers, the numerals on this. So, very excited, but that's my unboxing of two Kuoe watches. The Royal Smith features a gold tone case with an ivory waffle texture dial that adds such a refined dimension. It's subtle, but once you notice it, you really can't stop looking at it. I paired it with a brown Italian leather strap, which complements the warmth of the gold case beautifully. It's that kind of vintage dress watch that feels right at home with a blazer, or just as sharp with a plain white shirt. Specs-wise, it's automatic with hand winding and hacking seconds, so you can wind it manually, and the second hand stops when you pull the crown for precise time setting. It has a domed sapphire glass with anti-reflective coating, so it stays legible even in bright lighting. And the screw-down crown gives you 10 ATM water resistance, enough for rain or a casual swim, though I wouldn't take a leather-strapped watch to the beach anyway. Inside is a Citizen Miyota movement with about 42 hours of power reserve, and it runs beautifully. The size is 35mm with a 42mm lug-to-lug, so while it's small by modern standards, it still feels solid and classic, and it comes in a faux leather box, which is just a nice touch. Now, the watch that's probably been on my wrist the most of the two is the Old Smith. It has a slightly different feel, more field watch than dress watch, but still incredibly elegant. It comes on this dark brown Italian Cordovan strap, and it's dark enough that I can wear it with black outfits too. The black numerals give it a really clean, sharp look, and combined with the warm tone of the dial, it's just super versatile. This model is slightly more affordable at $590, but still feels premium in every way. Same automatic movement with hand winding and hacking, and this time a push-pull crown instead of a screw down. You've also got an exhibition caseback, which I love, and both models include that, by the way. But the real standout here is the leaf-shaped hands, which are finished using a technique called chef form processing. The minute hand is curved at the tip, following the dome of the crystal, just like the watches of the 1930s. It's such a small detail, but once you notice it, it's hypnotic. And this watch also holds a personal memory for me now. I wore it to my close friend's wedding while I played her down the aisle. So now every time I wear it, it carries that emotional connection. And honestly, that's one of the things I love about collecting watches most. They mark a moment in time. No pun intended, but totally intended. Between the two, I was initially drawn to the gold tones of the Royal Smith. I thought it would just suit my skin tone and style, but the Old Smith has totally won me over with its vintage charm and quiet confidence. And I think that's what makes Kuoe such an exciting brand. They're not trying to compete with Seiko or Citizen. Instead, they're offering a focused, well-crafted collection with true vintage inspiration, made in Japan at a really accessible price point. I first found them through a random Instagram ad. Then my friend Rebecca Struthers, who's an incredible watchmaker and a tastemaker I trust, mentioned them. And finally, Teddy Balthazar's video sealed the deal. You know that rule of hearing about something 3 times before you check it out? Well, that's exactly what happened. And I'm so glad I did. These watches have honestly exceeded my expectations. The quality feels far above their price. And, well, they've quickly become genuine conversation starters, which, let's be real, is one of the most fun things a watch can be. If you're looking for something under $1,000 that feels special, tells a story, and might just become your next favourite, Kuoe is absolutely worth your attention. Let me know in the comments, would you wear a 35mm watch? Are you into these gold tones? I mean, they have other types available. Or do you prefer something sportier? If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.